Hey kids, you're listening to A Couple of Annoyed Grumboys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we are the official podcast of The Simpsons that talk about seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10, so we're out here in podcast land to see if any episodes beyond the golden age can match those ones. I don't do this alone because I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me, as always, is
Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve. Hello, Craig.
Hey, Steve. So this week's episode, I think, really will excite you because of the title, Ice Cream of Margie, with the light blue hair. Not those words, but the word ice cream. And you're a fan of ice cream because if our listeners don't know, you make your own ice cream. Can you tell us a little bit more about your process?
Yes, so ice cream is one of my favorite sweet treats. Probably one of my favorite desserts.
Bold statement.
I know, it's true. I like it more than cookies, more than cake. Probably ice cream is my favorite thing to take.
More than cum itself.
Unless, two great tastes together at last. But actually, about a year ago, we found in our house, somebody had purchased an ice cream maker, and nobody knew who bought it and what it was for, so I thought, I'll give it a try. And I kind of fell in love with making ice cream. And so now it's kind of my weekend project, where I'll make an ice cream base, and then I will add some flavors to it. I do it probably about once or twice a week now. And it's one of my favorite things, and it's sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not, but more often than not, you end up with ice cream, and that's always a good thing.
It's just a fun thing to do because you're making something that makes people happy rather than...
That is one of my favorite things about ice cream is nobody's mad at ice cream. Everybody's happy to have ice cream, and I like anything that can bring that kind of joy to people, which is why I do this podcast too, because nobody's mad at us, right?
We only do this to infuriate people. Mostly our significant others.
Yes.
But I was thinking because this episode's going to have a storyline where Homer has an ice cream truck. And, as kids, we were so used to the ice cream truck. I know they still exist because I still hear them every summer going around. And why is it always just ice cream? Why isn't there a mobile something else?
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, Steve, instead of ice cream, what do you think would be a great, you're sitting at home and all of a sudden you hear a song and you realize, oh, that's the blank truck, not the ice cream truck, but it's something else, hot chili, hot chili truck, reference to The Simpsons. If it's chili, I apologize, Steve, but do you have an idea what would be a fun, that people, like you said, ice cream brings happiness. What else would bring happiness if people hear this?
I mean, this is legally complex, I think. And maybe it's just because of the day that we're recording.
Wait, is this Epstein Island delivery?
They don't need to deliver. That's what school buses are for.
Jesus Christ.
I was thinking the weed man or woman or person. You play a little, maybe some Bob Marley or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then he's just selling joints, or edibles or whatever, what have you.
I like the edible truck. Yeah, and selling the kush too. I mean, obviously you've got to present valid ID before purchase. So there you go.
And I realize that I just invented drug dealers, but...
But legal drug dealers.
Yeah.
It has to be a song, though, that kids hate. Because if a kid hears a certain song, they're like, ooh, the ice cream trucks.
Right.
They want to go to it. It's got to be something that kids don't want to hear.
Is there a song about homework or cleaning your room? And honestly, that's what it's true, because usually when I get high, I clean the house.
I was very proud of myself yesterday. I took an edible and cleaned the garage, so...
Good job.
It works, yeah. If you're not productive, then that's when the munchies will hit, because you're just sitting there not doing anything that you just want to eat. But if you have a set goal, work, yeah, what would be a good song? The Bob Marley is an obvious one. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't like Bob Marley.
No, I don't particularly care. I think it's not his fault that I think white people have ruined reggae music because he's the only artist that they know of.
I mean, I know plenty of other reggae artists, but I don't have time to talk about it right now.
Of course, right.
Podcast, because we got to continue this conversation. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's too obvious. Well, you can workshop that, Steve. I like this. And it's weird, like, maybe even like during the pandemic, why didn't they have like at-home deliveries?
Mm-hmm.
It was fun during the pandemic. The pandemic was fun, by the way.
Yeah.
Going to your store and like texting them like, I'm here, and then they would like, you crack your window open and just like slip them the money, and then they slip you the drugs. Both, and you always had to have masks on. They wouldn't deliver if you weren't wearing a mask. It was great.
That's right.
I miss those days, Steve. Let's bring the pandemic back.
Sure, it's just a matter of time.
So I went more obvious with food, like the ice cream, and I would love it if it was a pizza truck. Could you imagine if you're playing like the is that racist?
I don't think so. And so it's against Italians. Who cares?
Sure. But imagine like you're driving down the street. I know logistically it might be dangerous to drive around with a
500 degree
600 degree oven, especially if you want like, this is a wood fired oven. But it's just like, imagine like you're hearing the pizza truck come by and like, you just get a slice. It's no like customization, none of that stuff. Like pepperoni, cheese, Hawaiian, veggie, and a combo, something like that. Not even a combo. I just want pepperoni, cheese at first. There we go. New York style slice for $40 maybe. I don't know how much are pizza slices these days.
Yeah, probably $50.
Yeah. A Zod truck delivery.
I like this. Yeah, I would definitely hit that up. At my work, when I'm not podcasting, I do work in an industrial area, and for the longest time, I heard a truck drive by, and it played Dixie. Like, the horn played Dixie. And I was like, who is this horrible racist person? And it turns out, I don't know why it's Dixie, but it's a taco truck that drives around, and when it reaches the area, it honks its horn. And the tacos are delicious and not racist.
Yeah, like if you're playing Dixie, that's racist. They should have been like the Mexican hat dance. That's fine.
Exactly.
Tacos, do that.
Right, because who doesn't want to evoke cockroaches when you're offering food service?
I think the problem with that, though, is then you got to like make it. Like I feel like with my pizza thing, like you already have like the pizzas made, and we're making a joke about the oven, but I think you're off-site, you cook them, and then like your pizzas are just in a warmer. Yeah, you're just driving around handing out za, and then you're going back to your kitchen to get more.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, I would love pizza like on a truck, and another thing that I'd love, and I feel like this may have been done in the 90s, but like a coffee truck that actually moves around, pulls into businesses. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I feel like that probably exists or existed at some point.
Mm-hmm.
What about, because you said already the Mexican food exists, what about sushi?
Ooh, sushi truck.
That's a little more complex, I think. Especially if you're driving, you have the sushi chef in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a good idea.
My wife always wanted to open up a dump truck that was just dumplings.
No. No, they exist, Steve. They pick up our trash.
Right.
A dump truck, that's pretty funny. How about instead of sushi, ramen?
Ooh, I like this.
You know, we're such a society that has become so introverted that more mobile places, because we get so many DoorDashes and Uber Eats and all that stuff now, you know, with all those apps and all those choices, sometimes it's hard. You're like, when you're looking at your DoorDash app, right? And you're like, there's too many options, and you end up not spending money and you just cook at home. That's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
So we need people to make decisions for us. So that's why we need these trucks to go through our neighborhoods, because then we hear, oh, there's the pizza wagon, there's the burrito wagon, there's the dump truck. That's our dinner. It's coming by. We got it.
I like it.
All right. But all we have now is ice cream. So let's just get on with this week's episode. Steve, we're talking about Ice Cream of Margie with the light blue hair, which aired November 26, 2006. Steve, let's put our mindset back in 2006.
Yes.
What was our number one movie for that weekend?
Well, I've never seen this movie, but I know these. I have these when I get ice cream. It's Happy Feet.
This is, of course, the biopic of Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not one that I've watched, so
No?
I'm curious about like when my child will be a little bit older to watch all those like new anime movies that aren't even out yet, which will be her favorite. You know, Steve, I know it's tacky to say, but as my only child that she is my heart.
Yes.
And will I be saying this to her when she's like in high school and I have to buy her an expensive graphing calculator for some reason? I'm like, look, you need to go back to summer camp and cut down those trees by that body of water that you did to pay for that graphing calculator. It's what I'm going to say to her.
I think that's very fair.
My precious. Steve, what was the number one song of the Billboard Hot 100 for that week?
Why, it's My Love by Justin Timberlake, featuring T.I., Texas Instruments himself.
I'm again, after then she graduates high school, then like I got to pay for college, right? And then I'm just like the endless bills. It's just like coming at me and it's all dark. It's like an ongoing circus of darkness, like on a street.
It could lead you down a path of drugs, and you'll fall in love with these substances that are not man-made. Like maybe you'll like go for meth or like other like clinical things that are made in a lab.
Speaking of which, what was the hot rock alternative for that week?
Why, it's Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. And, when drugs get into relationships, it makes people want to leave, and they like to get over your erection or maybe below it, and they lift it up before infidelity happens.
Steve, let's just go back to the music. What was the hot country song of that week?
It was Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Steve.
Sorry.
What do you think is one of, I don't know why this is a weird tangent, but like, what do you think is one of the best intro songs done by an instrument that's not a guitar, but maybe like a synthesizer from a band that's usually known for having a great guitar intros?
Oh, you're talking about Criss Cross.
No, I'm talking about
The Pointer Sisters?
how about a little Hagar or Roth, maybe?
Oh, yes. You're talking Hot for Teacher.
But if we're not talking about that song that makes you hop by Van Halen or the other ones, who's another artist that would sing a song about that?
I don't know, Jesus Christ? Or maybe his mom?
What was the hot dance song of that week?
It was Jump by Madonna?
I'm not familiar with Madonna's song Jump.
I know so many Jump songs, but yeah.
If only we could play clips on this without getting busted. We're not going to because we're not allowed.
That's right. Save it for the Patreon. Maybe she did a mashup of all three songs. It has a sick-ass, like, intro with the keyboard, and then there's some 12-year-olds rapping while wearing backward clothing, and then some Pointer Sisters doing some later era songs.
Or it's just Madonna wearing a platinum blonde wig that goes down to her chin, like the, I don't know, that style at the time, almost Karen, like, and then a bunch of people doing like parkour. That's probably what the video is.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay. Let's be done with this dumb bit and get on to the episode. Like I said, ice cream of Margie with a light blue hair. When Homer is left with an ice cream truck after the owner passes away, he becomes an ice cream man. Meanwhile, Marge puts all the leftover popsicle sticks to use by making them into sculptures. But when Homer hits her sculptures with his new truck, their relationship is over, and the series ends.
Huh. Asked and answered. Okay.
Let's go ahead and watch that episode, and we'll be right back. We're back. Today we're talking about Ice Cream of Margie with the light blue hair. It's the 7th episode of the 18th season. It's episode 385 in the show's run. Original air date, November 26, 2006. Their nerd code is HABF22, written by Carolyn Omine, directed by Matthew Nastuk, and showrunner Al motherfucking Gene.
Oh yeah, Carolyn Omine, a fan favorite of ours. Of course, she's written 28 episodes. This will be the 17th that we've talked about. Of course, she did our first episode, Dial In for Nerder, The Homer of Seville, Thief of Hearts, Treehouse of Horror 22, a little bit earlier, Little Big Mom, Treehouse of Horror 11, and The Great Money Caper, Strong Arms of the Maw, and then most recently, A Mid-Childhood Night's Dream, and My Octopus and a Teacher, to name a few. And of course, as we always bring up, she also was a writer for The Full House. And if you check out our Patreon, we just released an episode of Full House that she wrote that we talked about. Is It True About Stephanie? That was a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, don't forget, Dial In for Nerder was our first episode. If you're a new listener, you will not be able to find that first episode because we redid it as our 312th episode. So check that episode out. The reason why we don't want you to hear the very first episode. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
That's why if you're obviously listening to now, we're going back to our old couple first few episodes and giving those another look because we weren't as sexy as we were now.
We couldn't possibly be any sexier than we are now, and so we want you to experience that, listener.
Because as you know, you only get sexier the older you get.
Look at Patrick Stewart. Look at Patrick Duffy. Just look at him.
Patrick Starfish, he looks way hotter than he did when he first appeared back in like the non-HD days.
Yeah, and like when he was on Coach, he looked awful.
Anyway, Steve, Carolyn Omine, we still got some more episodes that she has written that we haven't done yet. And of course, she's still a current writer. I mean, her last episode was credited in season 35, but I feel like she's still on the show.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'll be back for more, and we'll get to see her maybe in season 38.
Well, she's like a boss, right? She's executive producers, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she could even, like, since Al Jean is stepping down, or since he has, I know Matt Selman is kind of like the head showrunner, but I could see Caroline popping up there.
And you know what? We're here for it.
Indeed.
All right, well, Steve, should we just begin the episode?
Yes, and we begin with a couch gag, and the living room is all dark, and the light is turned on, and each member of the family has a cockroach body, and scurries off with the exception of Maggie, who goes behind the couch and peers out of the back corner. This is a rather Kafka-esque couch gag. Actually, it's not really, because people just like to use the word Kafka-esque, because they don't know what it means, but it actually means in reference to oppressively complex bureaucracy rather than just a cockroach, like in the Metamorphosis.
Steve, can you please hand me that coffee order I just ordered from you?
Sure.
This is coffee-esque.
Yes, that is true. It is very coffee-esque.
So if I'm going to use the term Kafka-esque in polite conversation or in rude conversation,
please be polite.
How would I go about it?
Man, I had to get a loan at the bank, and the process was truly Kafka-esque, in that it was very difficult.
Oh, okay.
Because you weren't banking with Wells Fargo. That's right, our sponsor this week is Wells Fargo.
So I shouldn't say it after every time I have sex. That was truly Kafka-esque.
I mean, if there was a lot of red tape and bureaucracy you had to go through to get that sex, then maybe, I don't know.
Well, red tape was involved.
Sexy. It is the sexiest of the tapes.
I guess so. Well, our episode begins, as it always does, with Bart dumping the grain cereal, a.k.a. the wood, out of Krusty Charms cereal into Santa's Little Helper's bowl, leaving the marshmallow clown heads for himself. And Marge comments about how wasteful that is, but that's par for the course for Bart, who only eats the eyes of lobsters. He then points to a separate trash can full of discarded eyeless lobsters.
2 questions. 1, do you think Pinchy is in that pile?
Pinchy is in Homer's belly.
Oh, that's right. Do you think that this is like a commentary about the Simpsons like living I mean, they talk about it a lot more nowadays, but in 2006, were they talking about the Simpsons having this like exuberant lifestyle under a single income household? And so that's the way they're able to order so many discarded lobsters.
I have two answers for that. One was, I think the Frank Grimes episode was really the first one to kind of showcase that.
Mm-hmm.
And two, if you don't remember 2006, the lobster boom.
Oh, yeah.
When literally a portal opened from an alternate universe where only lobsters existed, came through and landed all on the planet. And so we had to kill them all, and lobsters was plentiful. And George W. Bush, the president at the time, went on an aircraft carrier and had a banner that said mission accomplished. Now, people think this was about going to Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction, but in fact, the truth was it was a secret mission that our military did to kill all the alien lobsters.
And they were successful, so therefore the mission accomplished banner was appropriate.
Exactly. So next time you see George W. Bush, say, hey, thanks for killing all them lobsters.
Yes. And if you see Bill Clinton, say, hey, what about those crabs?
He turns to Hillary and he goes, my bad. I don't know.
So that's very good information.
Hey, this is a learning podcast.
Yes, that's what we are. We're the learning podcast. Marge thinks that Bart should be ashamed of himself, considering how hard Homer works to put top-of-the-line shellfish on the table. And she adds that he comes home every night exhausted with a voice too sore to speak. We then hear Homer's pain scream as he's hard at work, propelling himself in an office chair, using a broom as a hockey stick to push a tape ball away from his opponents.
Now, are we learning that? I mean, that's the setup for the joke for Marge saying that he works so hard, but obviously cute to this and he's just playing around. But does he actually? In my mind, when I watched this episode, I thought she meant that besides working at the power plant, he then goes after work and goes to the ocean to catch lobsters. Why was that the way I went?
I don't know. I assume that you understand how money works. Yeah, it can be used to buy goods and services, like lobster.
We should have not have recorded this podcast on 420, by the way. So apologies to our listeners. That's where my mind went, that he went to go.
And so is his throat sore from saying, here, lobster, 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 lobster?
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
I forget you could also go to a job to earn money for goods and services.
No, in your defense, you do work from home.
True, I forget about these things.
Yeah.
All right.
You're better off. People at jobs are dumb, so yeah.
But we like them having jobs, so they can spend $5 a month on our Patreon. Patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys. All right. Homer makes his way down the makeshift break room rink, raising his broom to make the winning shot, shouting, I'm the king of goofing off. I don't know why I did it in Marge's voice. He hits the tape ball, but goalie Carl, who's using the Yellow Pages duct tape all over his body as padding. Now, like, the Yellow Pages, if you use them for padding, it's going to be like a piece of paper, Steve.
It's true. It's not safe.
No. So he stops the ball. He then punches Lenny in the eye, who cries out his favorite Scott Bakula / Kathy Ireland movie, which there's plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is unnecessary roughness.
Ah, yes. So Carl argues that his move is legal in Rolo Polo, but Homer was under the impression that they were actually playing Cincinnati Time Waste. And since that is what they're playing, Lenny hits Homer in the groin with the broomstick, causing him to roll around the floor in pain. When Homer asks what he did to deserve the nut shot, Lenny explains that when you pass a coffee pot, you're supposed to yell hot pot and eat a sugar cube. Everybody knows this. It's the rules.
I just don't abide by the Cincinnati Time Waste rules.
Are you more of a Cleveland loafing lounger?
I know I'm supposed to yes and you, but you know Cleveland has been defunct since 1943.
That's true.
All right, well, after checking the official Cincinnati Time Waste rulebook, Carl declares that Homer is facing a 2-minute penalty, which involves all of the men tickling him. So just then, Monty Burns comes in to deal out harsh punishment, because they're goofing off at work, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
He's the boss, after all.
Of course.
But of course, all Homer can hear is the sweet siren song of an ice cream man driving by.
On your feet, you sniggering orangutan. My fat friend, you are hanging by a very thin thread. If you want to keep your job, then you better start... You're thinking about that ice cream truck, aren't you? Well, you can just forget about... Come and lick me, big boy. I said lick me.
You're not ice cream, faker. Ice cream man, wait!
You're fired. As for the rest of you, you're supposed to be a chair hockey team. All I see is 5 showboaters. Now sit down and give me 50 twirls.
It's kind of a brilliant joke. While it's fun seeing Homer lick Burns, I like how he's getting chewed out by Homer. I mean, how Homer's getting chewed out. And all he does, like, just imagine like this is in conversation, you're getting chewed out, and the person doesn't respond until the first thing they do is they lick your face and say, "Ew, you're not ice cream," and then runs away.
Yeah.
The dressing down scene. And then I think it's really brilliant because you're setting up this joke that they're just goofing off in the break room, and Burns comes in, and of course he's the boss, so it's like, stop this. But that stinger at the end that he's like, you guys are a chair hockey team. Stop being showboaters, like, act like a team. Like, really well done. Like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so does that mean that he's berating Homer for the 2-minute penalty?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's berating him because he's just not being a team player, maybe?
Yeah.
Because he's distracted by the ice cream man.
And who wouldn't be? Because I love the ice cream man.
Steve, you are the ice cream man.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I just, I remember this was a moment, like, when my wife and I were dating, we were over at your house one summer day, and the ice cream man came, and I think you and I both ran off yelling ice cream man, and we left her behind. And she always thought it was weird.
And don't forget the trampoline car came by.
Mm-hmm.
That was like back when Choco Tacos were still a thing, and I remember always getting a Choco Taco. Those were so good.
Is that your go-to order, do you think, for the ice cream man?
Yeah. As a kid, though, I think I always got like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pop that had like
the gumball eyeball.
Yeah, any of those that had the gumball eyeballs, which were gross, and they never looked the same. But it was always something like that. That it always looked colorful and like, wow, look at all those flavors, because I assumed each color meant a flavor, but it wasn't.
Right, and of course, when you're a kid, you want to go with the licensed material because that seems somehow better.
Yeah, I'm not going to get something that like my mom could go and get at the thrift way.
Right, like I love a traditional ice cream sandwich with like the classic, but I think from an ice cream man, I like a chipwich.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is just because I'm older and bigger, but did ice cream sandwiches get smaller?
I want to say yes. I feel like they have.
I the last time I bought like a box at the store, like they were more rectangularly and not like thicker. Not thicker, but like I felt they were bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably because little kid hands.
No, I feel like I'm with you though, because it felt like it was like skinnier and thinner, like
the newer ones.
Yeah.
I always felt they were like a little bit, like almost the size of like iPhones. Now they're like the size of razors, like iPhone razors, or like the cell phone razor. Yeah.
It's the enshittification of everything. I think everything's just getting smaller and worse.
Except for my belly.
And my penis.
Like another one is like those like Reese's or Reese's like frozen burritos. Like those things are really small now. I swear they used to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just my age, I guess.
So Homer chases down the ice cream truck, and the elderly man inside, Max, is happy to see his favorite customer. So Homer orders a butter-crusted Choco Rocket, which sounds kind of good, and Max hands over the sweet treat, saying that he's barely scraping by. And Homer agrees, saying that everyone's feeling the economy these days, and then proceeds to pay with a $100 bill.
So he's using the coin dispenser that's around his belt, and Max counts Homer's change 1 quarter at a time. As he counts out the last coin, giving Homer his full $99.75, Max has a heart attack and falls out of the truck dead. And then Homer shouts no to the heavens. Now, if he already had like $100 worth of coinage in his machine,
right, yeah.
Why did he fall over when he was this because of like the slow, tedious counting? And maybe his hand?
Yeah. Maybe his left hand isn't used to the weight of all of those coins. But yeah, it is holding, 400 quarters.
Also, 25 cents for that ice cream?
It's pretty good, even in 2006 prices. Because you'd assume a butter-crusted Choco Rocket would be a more premium item.
Yeah, I feel like if you do that now to an ice cream truck and you say, can I pay with a $100 bill? They'd be like, yeah, as long as you got 2 more of those to afford this Choco Rocket.
Hey, it's true. Also, they probably wouldn't take cash.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was going to say, I have a business proposition for you.
Ooh, do tell.
And I didn't know when to bring it up, but since we're talking about ice cream, and it's all we're going to be talking about apparently, because it's ice cream episode, we always come up with food cart ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we reinvent the ice cream truck? I know someone probably already has.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that like there's a sign on Homer's truck that says like Sundays are like $4.95. You'll see. So like I'm assuming that he makes like Sundays as well.
Right.
But how fun would it be like just actually driving around in a neighborhood with like a bougie type of like
I like this
ice cream truck for like the hipster side of Portland, which is Portland.
Right.
You go to areas where it is like a lot of, young 20-somethings, young 30-somethings, and have like dairy-free, obviously some dairy-free, a lot of that kind of stuff, maybe like a vegan dairy-free. And you're the one who's making the ice cream.
Yeah.
So come up with the flavors and all.
I mean, I would be happy to come up with like homemade sauces and syrups too.
Yeah. And I'll drive.
And I have played with vegan ice cream. I like this. I like you driving. That means I don't have to.
Well, because you're going to be making it, and I'll drive. And what music would we play? We don't want Pop Goes the Weasel, right?
No. We need something hip.
The theme from Portlandia?
Yes.
Is that hip still?
Probably not, but that's actually not a bad idea. It's instrumental, and it's
well recognized.
Mm-hmm.
For us Gen Xer / millennials from Portland, we'll play the Portland Trail Blazers Rip City Rap City.
Rip City, Rip City, Rip City, Rap.
I think it was Rip City Rap City.
It could be, yeah.
We probably discussed this a long time ago on an episode and probably played clips of the music, but that's a good one.
Well, at Max's funeral, an ice cream truck plays taps, and his coffin is lowered into the ground. Fellow ice cream men use an oversized ice cream scoop to shovel dirt over the coffin. Homer respectfully places a rose under the windshield wiper of Max's truck when the wife of the recently deceased introduces herself.
You must be Homer.
What? Max told you about me?
Oh, yes. Max loved to talk about his work. How he bored me. And now I'm left with nothing but my lover and this worthless truck.
Wait a minute. You don't want the truck. I need a job. You need money. I'm flush with severance pay.
You'll buy Max's truck?
Why, doesn't he need it? Oh, right. Remember that crappy ice cream truck I bought?
How can we forget? Mom says now we can't afford to go to the orthodontist.
Well, sink your crooked, rotting teeth into this!
I think this is some good comedy writing. If you kill a character off on a show, obviously we've never met Max.
Right.
But, death is sad. But it somehow made it better because his wife was like, he used to bore me all the time with his stories. Thank God it's just my lover now in this worthless truck. So she was always just like cheating on him and
couldn't care less. Yeah.
So do you feel worse for Max now? Because he loved his job, but his wife hated him and was sleeping around. So he was just kind of a sad.
Yeah, and he even said that the economy was ruining him as well. So he wasn't successful as being a ice cream man.
Yeah.
Except for Homer.
Who spent 25 cents.
Right. Because, I would have just given him the the ice cream cone for free rather than breaking a $100 bill. But yeah, I think it's good. It's good comedy writing, and it works well. I also like the fact that they acknowledge the passage of time where Homer doesn't say, "Hey, I bought an ice cream truck." He's like, "Hey, remember that ice cream truck I bought?" Bart and Lisa were like, "Yeah, Mom was really pissed about that."
I also say the funeral was pretty funny. You said it already, but I loved the ice cream scoops.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're an ice cream man. Is there a trick to the ice cream scoop?
Okay, I have an ice cream scoop that I really like, and I don't know about the brand. It might be an OXO or just whatever, like kitchen brand, but it doesn't have a handle. It's just a scoop, or it doesn't have like the clicky thing that moves the thing. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
And that seems to work better for me. I think that gives you a false sense of confidence, the clicky thing. Like, I think you just gotta do it and let it fall.
Yeah, the clicky thing never works for me.
Yeah.
And I've also heard that you want to get like a good ice cream scoop shouldn't have like a plastic handle or rubber handle. It should just be metal.
Ideally, yeah.
It needs your body warmth, like your warmth from your hand to kind of like help melt it. Not melt, you know what I mean, but like easier to scoop.
If I'm scooping a lot of ice cream, I usually just have like a container of warm water that I can rest the scoop in and go from that. But yeah, your hand also works well.
Do you drink the water after you're done
Maybe.
scooping? Do you also drink your hot dog water?
Maybe. And I guess so when I make french fries, I drink the oil afterwards.
Like right after, right? You don't.
Yeah. Call it a Bernie treat. Ow!
I don't approve of that. I have other treats.
Usually tin fish and a stale bagel that he got the day afterwards. I
only eat sardines and expired Ritz crackers because that's the only thing I can afford.
1% of one Ritz cracker. So Homer shows the kids the new and improved ice cream truck, decked out with a fresh paint job, new tricked-out engine, and a model sundae on the roof. As Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On plays, we see flashy camera angles showing off the grille, the rims, the luxe interior, right down to the cherry gearshift handle. As Bart puts it, Otto totally pimped Homer's ride, which, of course, because Pimp My Ride was a very popular show on MTV at the time. Homer replies that Otto was simply following his design, which consists of a crude drawing of a rectangle with two circles underneath to show off that it is, in fact, a truck.
So this is where I probably should have brought up your ice cream truck, because we got to make the truck look like this.
Like a rectangle with two circles?
Yeah, based off of Homer's design, but to make look like what Otto pimped.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, nothing says 2006 more than this scene with referencing Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, it's funny how the word pimp went from becoming the abusive purveyor of sex workers, and then it became to make things better because of Exhibit and MTV and Pimp My Ride. And then with the very small improv boom, pimping somebody out means to, like, if you, like, do a really good, like, James Cagney impression or something, when you're in a scene, you would pimp them out to get them to do it. And now, probably better off. Nobody uses that term anymore.
What year did you go to improv school when they needed a James Cagney impersonation?
It's not specific to James Cagney. I just pulled up.
He just said, what a weird reference. I'm the one who makes old-timey references, not you. Me.
Sorry. Would you prefer if it was Jimmy Stewart, Bob Hope, modern, Ronald Reagan?
That's better. All right. So Homer then dresses in a manner most unusual, unless, of course, you are the Sacha Baron Cohen character, Ollie G. Then this is rather common. So Homer stands naked in a black void, lit by a dim spotlight. The camera circles around him as he pulls up his tidy whities. The white pants and short sleeve button-up shirt fly onto his body, followed by two shoes. So he buttons his shirt, and then a bow tie affixes itself around his neck, and then a belt goes through the waist. But when that belt proves to be too short, a second belt flies around to get the job done.
So then Homer's coin dispenser is attached, and a scoop flies into his hand, but he drops it, and then he rips his pants as he bends over to pick it up. So a second pair of pants surround his lower half. And then a hat spins onto his head, and Homer says, in a British accent, butter brickle. And meanwhile, at home, Marge is in the living room folding laundry, watching the daytime TV show Opal, which is a little like Oprah.
Welcome back. Today, we're celebrating women who didn't waste their lives being mommies. Professor Stein, tell us about your book, Life Beyond Wife.
Well, Opal, it's about women who want to breastfeed their own dreams and change the poopy diapers of fulfillment. I call it leaving your legacy.
Does this book have any examples?
Yes, 8. Take Gail Tucker. She wrote hip-hop lyrics to the beat of her washing machine with an off-center load. Last year, she won all the Grammys. Yeah! Or how about Becky Tyson, who invented the pink VCR? Now her husband asks her for money, or as I call it, munchie.
You go, girl.
All those women are so impressive. I've been doing the same thing for the last 10 years. And all I have to show for it is a clean floor.
Steve, do you ever have an off-center load?
Sometimes, yes.
The audience in Opal, I love they're all like shocked faces every time they say something. And this is also like the time too when they were putting a feminine like her or she after certain things.
Mm-hmm. The legacy.
Yeah, and like that's still like a thing that goes on. I'm not saying I'm against women promoting themselves, but like it's interesting it goes all the way this back, like it's not his story, it's her story,
right?
Like history or something like that. I don't know.
Also, I like the fact that like they mention Gail Tucker, who, as you mentioned, has rapped with her off-center load, but rather than like cutting to her rapping, it just shows her buried in Grammys.
Yeah.
And then the second example is somebody who invented a pink VCR, which is just a VCR. It's really funny.
At this time, too, we were really like, how do we sell this item, like a razor, that everyone uses to women who use razors? Well, you better make it pink.
Yes. And then raise the price $2 to make it more expensive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Apple was really kind of like a forefront of that with like computers. Like computers were always just that ugly beige color, and we accepted that. I don't care. I don't need my computer to look any different. But then Apple's like, wait, women will want to use a computer if it's pink. So then they make all of, like the pink things, like the pink iPods, and I mean they still do it with colors. But what is their weird side tangent? What is their like? What are they Tim cooking over there with like the color designs of iPhones? Like, okay, well we'll do the white one, a black one, and an orange one. And that's it. Like, who wants an orange iPhone?
Like, I get black, I get silver, and I get rose gold, because rose gold is kind of like pink gold, so it's kind of like what you're talking about. But yeah, when you get to orange, like, is there a big desire, like, are hunters needing iPhones? Like,
and everyone puts a case on their friggin' phone anyways.
Yeah.
Why don't they make the phone out of the case?
Thanks, Seinfeld.
Oh, I'm not Seinfeld.
Oh. I'm Tim Apple.
R.I.P. Tim Cook, no longer the CEO. When Marge is sad about not having anything except for the clean floor, Santa's little helper runs through the living room covered with mud. But then Milhouse follows behind him on a bike towing Bart, who's on a skateboard, but then just tossing dirt from a bag. It's like such a quick, like, if you miss it, you miss the joke. So thereby ruining Marge's clean floor and her legacy.
On a neighborhood street, several kids sit on the curb, feeling the blistering summer heat. Milhouse complains that it's too hot, and Martin adds that he feels like Icarus flying too close to Apollo's golden orb. Martin's all ready to receive a pounding from Nelson, but the bully says that it's too hot. Then Martin pulls out his planner to schedule the beating, and Nelson punches away.
I feel like in the future, Martin is always going to be receiving a pounding from Nelson.
And it will be too hot.
You see, new listeners, we had a theory that Nelson and Martin in the future will become lovers.
That's right.
And in a good way.
Yes, so this is just a early memory that they'll recall while they're sitting post-coitus in bed together.
Yeah. They'll be a very loving couple. Like, think of your favorite gay uncles from Modern Family.
Yes. Or Dan Levy and his boyfriend from Schitt's Creek.
Or Norm and Cliff from Cheers.
Or Frasier and Niles from Frasier.
Or no one from the Frasier reboot. All right, Steve. Just then, a distant guitar solo of Mark Knopfler can be heard. As the Money for Nothing begins to play, an oasis of hope appears, offering cool treats to beat the heat. It's Homer in his truck asking the kids if they like ice cream. As they clamber towards him, he plays a disclaimer warning that his products neither contain ice nor cream and should not be consumed. I believe this is the same for, Dryers or Briars. They put that on their boxes. Yeah. This disclaimer also warns the product may contain Mexican cheese, which is, why is that an insult? I'm like,
I know.
Mexican cheese. Like, is it like the Mexican blends, like your Colby Jackson, whatever, or is it like cheese from Mexico? Either way. Is it cotija cheese?
Yeah, if it's a cotija, I'm down. That'd be good.
Steve, I was going to ask you, this maybe should be for like an Annoyed Grunt Boys episode, our Patreon exclusive episodes. But is that guitar intro to Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, like maybe one of the best guitar intros for songs? Like, I'm thinking of like, what are some of the best guitar riffs, like intro? It's got to be like the beginning of the song.
Right.
A solo, but like, I think of that, or there's plenty of Guns N' Roses I could.
That's where my brain went to as well.
Or
I feel like Metallica probably has some heavy hitters.
Yeah, I was trying to think like Van Halen's got plenty. There's something about that intro to Money for Nothing. It's kick ass.
It is. It's very kick ass, and I dare say iconic.
All right, Steve. Well, I need you to come up with a list of top 10 iconic guitar, not drums, not keyboards, not bass.
What about keytar?
Not even keytar.
Whoa, it's tough, but fair.
All right.
So I'll work on that. Excited, Ralph places an ice cream cone on his head, shouting, "I'm a unitard."
Can I ask about that joke?
Yeah.
Now, are we going with a joke in reference to the hard R word we're not allowed to use?
I kind of feel like we are.
Because unitard is obviously
it's like a leotard, but like a onesie, yeah.
Like all the way to like your whole body, right?
Yeah.
So he's obviously thinking of the word unicorn. So what's Ralph thinking? Like, is he thinking of the R word, or is he actually thinking of like a unitard? I know he's thinking of a unicorn.
Right. I think he's thinking of it. I think it's the hard R word that he's thinking of.
Okay. So Carolyn Omine is telling us, hey, look, comedy was different back in the 2006s. Your Tina Feys on SNL were writing jokes at women's expense. She's upset about that now, but that was the time. It's okay.
That's right. I mean, I don't know how many hard R words slipped through on Full House, and, Jesse called Michelle. Homer's handing out delicacies, and he sees a young boy sitting off to the side, his head hanging in sadness. So Homer sits next to the kid, thinking that he can't afford an ice cream treat. But when Homer learns the truth, he steps into action, inspiring the health policies of the current administration. Again, we're not a political podcast.
Off podcast, what would you refer to this current administration as? Just one word.
Oh, I think Ralph kind of alluded to it.
All right.
Yeah, and then later in this clip we'll hear Homer shares his joy with Marge.
What's the matter, son? Don't you have enough money for ice cream?
I do, but I'm lactose intolerant.
Son, I will not stand for intolerance. You give this delightful frozen treat the same respect you would give any lactose-free food. God bless America!
But my doctor says that...
I said God bless America!
Oh, call the number on my bracelet.
You, someone wears a bracelet! Who's your boyfriend? Dr. Osterberg. Wow, Marge, for the first time in my life, I'm excited about going to work.
I'm glad someone in this house feels their life has meaning.
You're glad? You don't look glad. Are you sure you know what glad means?
I just wish I could do something to be remembered by. Something that says, Marge was here after I'm gone.
Couple observations from that clip, visually speaking. What, is this a comment on America when, like, Homer and our healthcare system, like, doesn't believe a person or care about their health. Or just like USA type of...
Yeah, like, screw you. Yay, America.
Yeah.
Also, co-opting the concept of intolerance to fit your own narrative also feels very familiar.
But I like how he just pulls out a ice cream bar from his breast pocket, like already unwrapped. And I'm thinking, I don't think this kid, yeah, sure, he's lactose intolerant, but I think he's just getting like heartburn or like a brain freeze because he just chomps right on it and bites and swallows. Like, you don't do that to an ice cream bar. You gotta lick it. You gotta like let it melt a little bit. You don't chomp right on it.
Right. You gotta tease it a little bit.
Yeah. You can tell by the ice cream bar. It's a nice chocolate coated, like with a vanilla ice cream in the middle. It's your classic ice cream bar. And then, of course, Caroline, she already did a hard R joke, and now she's got to do a gay panic joke.
Mm-hmm.
Again, 2006. So, like, when he looks at the kid's bracelet for Dr. Oysterberg, like, he should have said something like, wow, this kid's boyfriend's a doctor? Because he said, who's your boyfriend?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would have been taking the gay panic joke of Homer going like, ooh, who's your boyfriend? And then just having like, his boyfriend is Dr. Oysterberg?
Yeah. Ooh, he's got doctor money.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of professions, another joke that I might have amended was back in the Opals bit. Professor Stein, I think her first name is Professor.
Because on the book it just says Professor Stein.
Yeah, and I think they could have done more with that, where like, she's not actually a professor. Her first name is Professor. Because it's not Dr. Professor Stein, or it's not like Dr. Stein. I don't know, just an idea.
That's funny.
But I also like in that clip that we just listened to, aside from, the America fuck yeah, not listening to our health needs and the gay panic, he also mansplains to Marge and gaslights her into thinking that she doesn't know what glad means.
He does a couple of that in this episode. Yeah, we're very peak season 18 Homer of he's both jerk and dumb.
I was thinking about this today, about the eras of Homer. And so you have, like, Tracy Ullman, like, the Bronze Age, the Walter Matthau. And then you have, like, the classic, what Homer is, like, from, like, the Golden Age. And then you have jerk-ass Homer from seasons, like, 9, 10, up until about season 17. And here we're developing into dipshit Homer, like, when he's buying the ice cream truck. And he doesn't know, like, why Max wouldn't need it. And it's like, oh, right, he's dead. We're getting into him being, like, extremely stupid and still a little jerky. So it's a fun transition.
Steve, you had me at eras. You were talking about Homer Simpson's eras. So you got to put this in layman's terms, because when we all think of eras, we think of Taylor Swift.
Of course.
If we go to her original, like the Homer is the classic, that's pretty much the red or the fearless eras of the Golden Age.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of 1989, but are we getting now towards more of the, is this the lover era of Homer? Is it before his... before the folklore or the
now is his folklore era, because he's a bit more sensitive. He's more prone to wearing like a cardigan sweater.
We're like in current Homer, he's really the life of the showgirl or the tortured poets department. Yeah, our fans now understand your analogy because we had to put it in Taylor Swift terms. So
of course, yes.
Also, how many dishes is Marge washing?
Like, what did they have, like? Springfield Elementary come over, like all of them?
Well, you know what it is. Bart's like, hey, Mom, I want a lobster. So she gives him a plate with a lobster on it. He eats the eyes, chucks the plate, or chucks the lobster and leaves the plate there. And then 2 minutes later, he wants more lobster. So it's probably Bart's fault.
That makes sense. I like that. Yeah, I get that.
Homer reaches into the freezer and stuffs several fudgicles in his mouth and then offers a half-hearted support to Marge, mentioning a time that she did something everyone loved, but his mouth is too full to understand what he's referring to.
So, seeing a table full of discarded popsicle sticks, Marge sees an apt metaphor. They get the popsicles, she gets the sticks. And then she holds up a bunch of those sticks that have stuck together, and notices that they kind of match the shape of Maggie's head. So, feeling truly inspired, Marge gets to work creating another Maggie out of sticky orange wood.
So Maggie is delighted, as is Homer, who walks back in to discover the folk art, his favorite form of folk medium. So Homer calls Marge a genius, saying she should build other people, such as Lenny, Carl, or the new James Bond. He then wonders if America is ready for a British 007. I have a question about the popsicle sticks.
Sure.
Does Homer retrieve all the sticks from... or is this all the sticks? Because Homer obviously eats his own product.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this all of Homer's stick eating?
You make a good point. And, like, let's say that he pulls up to a curb and has, like, 10 customers. I don't think he's going to go to the trouble of going back and being like, hey, give me back the popsicle stick. So I think it's him getting high on his own supply.
Unless, like, there is a deleted scene, which I doubt there is. But, like, a logical scene where maybe Homer just parks in front of parks or schools and, like, has a little bin that says, please recycle your sticks.
That's possible.
Or there could have been, like, maybe just a throwaway line that Bart says... Like when they see all the artwork, spoilers for later in the episode, and Bart could have been like, wow. And to think Homer was the reason behind this because these were all like his fudgicles or popsicles, something like that. Yeah.
I do like the joke about the James Bond, too.
Well, at this time, this is when Daniel Craig was announced as Bond, I believe.
Yes, but is America ready for a British James Bond?
Let's think about this. Sean Connery... I know it's UK, but he is technically Scottish. Roger Moore, I think, was British. George Lazenby, I think he was Australian. Timothy Dalton, Nigerian, I believe.
I believe so, yeah. And Remington Steele, he's Chinese, right?
Oh, 100%.
So, as Chuck Mangione's Feel So Good, wrong TV show. I thought we were watching King of the Hill. As Feel So Good plays, Marge continues her craft, constructing popsicle stick versions of Bart and Lisa peacefully holding hands as two kids model, choking each other when Marge's back is turned. Marge then builds Fat Tony choking Frankie the Squealer.
Hey, I gotta say, for the soundtrack for this episode, Dire Straits and Chuck Mangione, these are two great songs.
And Missy Elliott, too.
Oh, yeah, right. If Chuck Mangione was alive... This would be a great summer tour. Missy Elliott, Chuck Mangione, and Dire Straits.
Money for something?
Would you go see that? Like, it'd be like, what a weird combination. So the mob boss and the gangster then head home, and Tony hopping behind the wheel, and then Frankie finding his spot in the trunk of the car.
Very nice. So 2 weeks later, as written by Marge in Popsicle Sticks, Marge has filled the yard with her creations, with sculptures of Dedrick Tatum, Grandpa, Patty and Selma on bicycles, the Flanderses, including Maude, Reverend Lovejoy, Professor Frink, Apu, the Sea Captain, Disco Stew, and even the Capital City Goofball.
Do you think there should also have been a scene where Flanders came up to Marge and was like, Marge, I appreciate the mod, but my huge hog's got splinters on it now.
That's what he said when he saw the Helen Lovejoy.
Oh.
It's okay if it's wood.
All right. At least there's no other wood penis jokes in this episode, right?
That's right. We're done. So Marge's work is getting the attention of the whole town, including Channel 6 News.
This is Kent Brockman. A high-speed pursuit is taking place on the streets of Springfield. We responded immediately after seeing it on channels 2, 4, 5, 7, and 63. The driver is getting out of his car. He's running to a helipad. He's taking off in a copter. Wait, here he is next to us.
Kent, there seems to be a traffic tie-up at the 101-405 interchange. I recommend taking surface streets. Jailbird away!
Well, there you have it, people. Sweet Morley Safer, do I see a telegenic housewife making art out of popsicle sticks? Set this baby down. I smell soft news. Ma'am, I'd like to feature you on my award-submitted segment, Kent Brockman's Kentristing People.
Really? You think people would be Kentrusted in me?
I do.
I like that Marge is so accustomed to watching TV and like that she sees Kent Brockman and she wonders if people would be interested in her.
It's like she knows how to play the sound clip for the TV. Like they don't have to edit.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I remember this one time. I don't know. I feel like maybe you were with me, maybe not. I just remember in one of the times, like a person was a newscaster like comes up and he's like, "Hey, can ask you a question, blah, 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 about something. And I was like, sure, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, I need you to say it this way. Like being directed by the guy so they can have like that news clip for the promo. It's very funny.
It's like when Apu had the octuplets.
Yeah.
Or would you say you're on cloud 9?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to. I'm doing the bit with you, Steve.
Oh, yeah. So you're on cloud 9, you would say?
Yes, I would say that.
Well, then why don't you just go ahead and say it?
What do you want me to say?
That you're on cloud 9.
Why am I on cloud 9?
Because you're so happy.
Doing this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it elate you to be on cloud 9?
What are we talking about? Stop being weird, Steve. Let's just go back to the episode.
Fine.
Can we also bring up the snake? Because Foley knows how to fly a helicopter pretty well, too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like turning on a helicopter takes a little bit of time. You just got that whirlybird right in the air.
Yeah, he was pretty smooth about it. Like, watch your ass, Artie Pie.
Look at him. He could be a traffic cop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, traffic cop. A traffic reporter.
Yeah.
Kent has just 2 questions for Marge regarding her popsicle stick folk art. Why and how come? So Marge replies with some queries of her own. Why did cavemen paint on walls? Why do you scratch your name on Tupperware? The answer is simple. When you pass this mortar coil, you want something that says, I was here. I mattered. So the popsicle sticks are Marge's Tupperwares.
Whoa, that's deep. Kent shares that those are human emotions felt by a human being before introducing local nobody Mo, who finds the likeness of himself to be beautiful. The bartender can finally see his own goodness reflected in the sculpture, which is a very sweet moment until it becomes just a little creepy and sad.
So that evening, Homer comes into the bathroom with a sack full of popsicle sticks, saying that it's the most fun he's ever had giving Marge wood.
Hey.
I probably, if I saw this live, would have laughed at that joke. And you know what? I still did. It's very good.
Yeah, solid.
Like wood.
Exactly. Full of blood.
Do you think because Carolyn Omine worked on Full House, like she wanted to write this joke for Joey Gladstone because he had the puppet, Mr. Woodchuck?
Do you think if the show kept on going and he like had a long-term girlfriend, he's like, are you ready for some...
Oh, God, you know he did.
Yeah.
I've heard many a tale that it was one of the more dirtier sets. Not like they were being problematic, but maybe they were. But like Dave Coulier and John Stamos were very filthy, like filthy humor.
And of course, Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Also very, very filthy.
Did I said Bob Saget. Yeah. So Bob was like the one who would do a lot of goofy, gross humor before takes. So anyways, so I'm assuming that what I'm getting to is that there was a lot of Mr. Woodchuck penis wood jokes off camera.
I believe it. Yeah.
All right. So Marge tells Homer that her newfound sculpting has made her as hopeful and full of life as she was before she met him. Ooh.
Aw.
Homer is glad to see his wife happy, especially because he was feeling lonely, being happy by himself.
So the happy and non-lonely couple then begin to make out, and Homer suggests some romantic music, putting Pop Goes the Weasel on the record player. But since they have a full night of lovemaking ahead of them, Homer puts the record to the 16 RPM setting, slowing things down a bit. And the following day, a buyer shows some interest in Marge's work.
Marge, you are one fantastic artist, and no one knows art like a Texan with too much money.
You're from Texas?
That's right, and I want to finance a fancy schmancy art show starring your wooden wonders.
Yeehaw! My own art show? I'm so happy. Do you mind?
Yeah! I'm excited, you're excited.
Yeah!
Shoot on the yee, not the haw.
Are we to believe that Marge doesn't remember she's already had her own art show?
It's true, yeah.
So is Homer.
That's right. Thanks to Isabella Rossellini.
Has Bart or Lisa had their own art show yet?
I feel like Lisa probably has.
Well, hopefully in season 38 of The Simpsons, we'll see Maggie have her own art show.
I gotta say, I don't normally care much for the rich Texan, but in this scene, he really worked for me. One, the fact that Marge is surprised that the rich Texan was in fact from Texas. But I also like the fact that he was sharing her joy And he was giving her helpful tips on how to, like, best be a Southern guy who shoots guns in the air when he's excited. Because he's shooting on the E, not the ha.
It's also funny that he's got his 2 pistols, but then she's like, I want to try. He hands those, and then he just pulls out another set of pistols from his jacket. So he's got, at this point, 4 guns on him.
He is from Texas, so that tracks.
In Texas, 4 guns on you, that's nothing.
Right.
That's what a baby has.
Mm-hmm. That's what you wear when you go to Starbucks.
You think that's a joke you're making.
I know.
On the front yard of 742 Evergreen Terrace, Marge presents her art show, People from the Sticks. It was very clever.
Mm-hmm.
So Krusty walks up to her with his legal team saying that she needs to pay in order to use his likeness, since it's a registered trademark. So Marge changes the sign from Krusty to TV Clown. But Krusty argues that he does more than just television. He states that he had a one-man show on Broadway. He then adds that it was just one man who showed up in the audience. But he did end up with a Drama Desk Award. I loved that joke because it's such a old hacky vaudeville bit. I love Krusty for doing essentially he's just doing like Buddy Hackett comedy.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're back to things are right with you pulling references that our listeners will never get. Oh. But I appreciate it. I like it.
Yeah.
So before Homer heads off to peddle his frosty wares, he tells Marge that the art show looks wonderful. But she stops him, saying that she needs him for to stay for emotional support. And the fact that he makes a small crowd look huge doesn't hurt either. Homer tells her that if he abandons his route for even one day, the kids will learn the link between healthy eating and feeling good, and that will ruin his career.
So Homer vows to be back at home in time for the show, which starts exactly at 3 o'clock. He promises never to let her down, since their marriage is like a soft-serve ice cream, and trust is the hard chocolate shell that keeps it from melting onto their carpet. So in conclusion, here's the scoop. Homer loves Marge.
Aw. And folks, if you want a hard shell of trust yourself, just add a little bit of coconut oil to your chocolate, and it'll stiffen right up.
So I was going to ask you, like, they make those magic shell products. Is that all it is?
It really, that's all that it is, yeah.
I do like those magic shell things. It's amazing.
It really is. But yeah, you just get some coconut oil and pop it in the fridge for like a minute, and yeah, it'll get solid.
Wait, so you
melt chocolate, like you melt chocolate chips or candy bar or chocolate bar or whatever, and then you add like maybe a tablespoon of coconut oil, mix it in there while it's still hot, and then it'll solidify.
But what if you want to pour it over your ice cream and then it freezes like the magic shell ice cream stuff?
Well, it's still warm with the melted coconut oil in there, and yeah, and it doesn't have much flavor. And you might get a hint of coconut, but that's not a bad thing.
Right. Okay. I will do this tomorrow.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to forget.
Okay. I'll send you a memo.
Fine.
So Homer drives off in his ice cream truck, his public domain song blaring loudly. And like rats following the path of the Pied Piper, a group of kids run behind Homer. And he grows angry, asking what the hell they want, before realizing that, oh yeah, it's ice cream. He then drives through town until he discovers the opportunity of a lifetime. The Divorced Dad's Visitation Jamboree.
So using his PA system, Homer calls the divorced dads losers and then tells them that this is their chance to buy their kids a frozen love. So Kirk Van Houten is skeptical, saying that he wouldn't fall victim to such a cheap stunt. But when Milhouse suggests that his mother would, Kirk demands one of everything.
So the now single dads all treat their weekend kids to frozen delights, all except for Rainier Wolfcastle, and we get a nice cameo from Greta Wolfcastle, who showed up just as Homer sold out of ice cream. The action star is surprised as it's only 38 seconds to 3 p.m. He looks at his watch and finds out. This reminds Homer of Marge's show, so he drives off. And seeing that he's slowed down, Homer opens his door to jettison excess weight, dropping boxes of ice cream treats and himself accidentally. Although it's kind of weird because if he was sold out of ice cream treats, I don't know exactly what he's dropping out of his truck.
Maybe it's just like empty containers?
Yeah, but that wouldn't slow him down that much, but no. Whatever.
Wasn't there like an episode where you just watched recently with Homer and Grandpa, and they were doing that same bit where they had to remove weight, and it was just the life vests, and that made it go faster, right? He just threw the life
Right,
vests away. Yeah, the boat. Yeah, okay. The Grand Canyon one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Homer runs back into the truck and behind the wheel, seeing that he has a mere 9 seconds to make it to Marge's show. So back on the yard, the rich Texan leads a mob, counting down the seconds until they can cut the celebratory ribbon. Marge wonders where her homie is, and we see that he is stuck in traffic.
Oh. So knowing he'll never make it on time, Homer goes off-road, driving through the woods. Homer's hopeful that he'll make it to the show, just as he runs into an owl, and then a park ranger, and then a bear. So he uses his wipers to clear off the bird, the bear, and the park ranger, just in time to see that he's headed straight towards Marge's sculptures. Homer tries to swerve, but it's no use. He runs over each and every one of Marge's artful pieces.
So Mo tells the decapitated head of his popsicle stick doppelganger to reserve his energy while Lenny looks at the ruined statues of himself and his best friend, leading him to say, "I don't know where Carl ends and I begin." Carl believes that such statements is why people think that they may be gay. So there's another gay panic joke.
Mm-hmm.
So Homer stumbles out of the ice cream truck, telling Marge that he's made it to her show, but her response isn't exactly enthusiastic.
Well, Homer, you destroyed my artwork and my dreams. Good job. Very thorough.
Marge, let me explain. I had a chance to make a little more money by exploiting broken families.
Oh, stop. Just stop. You don't care about anyone else's happiness but your own.
Well, excuse me for having enormous flaws that I don't work on. Marge, honey, you've been in there all day. You gotta eat something. Why don't you come downstairs and cook dinner? Lasagna would be awesome.
A little visual joke that I liked in the episode was when we saw the people looking at their popsicle statues, and Ralph was there, and he was hugging the Chief Wiggum one.
Oh.
And then when it was on fire, he was like sad that it was being burned. It's just Ralph.
I didn't notice it. That's really good. Yeah.
And then this clip ending with another condescending Homer remark of like, "Hey, I know you're sad, but you can come make dinner. Make a lasagna." It's another jerk-ass Homer.
Especially since lasagna is like, it's not hard to make, but it is labor-intensive.
No, I agree. It's time-consuming.
Yeah, that's what it is. It takes a lot of steps.
Like, and yeah, obviously homemade lasagna is great. I love it, but sometimes you're just like, let's just get a Stouffer's so we don't have to do anything hard.
Right, we just pop it in the oven.
And Stouffer's lasagna just kind of tastes like a mush of flavor. I don't know what to describe because you don't really can't detect everything.
It's like the dream, the memory of lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
I get it. Yeah.
So with Marge still locking herself away in the bedroom, Homer slides a $300 check under the door to pay for the sculptures he broke. And so she responds by ripping the check into tiny pieces and blowing those tiny pieces through the keyhole. This caused Homer to think that maybe she would have preferred a wire transfer.
So the next day, Homer offers another apology that he hopes will be better than the ones he's tried before. He tells her through the bedroom door that it wasn't the free ice cream or the colorful toppings or even the love from obese children that he appreciated about being an ice cream man. What he enjoyed was giving Marge those sticks and watching her smile as she turned them into art.
Aww. So Homer then adds that he would gradually eat all the parts of a motorcycle if it would make Marge happy. And he begs for a single sign that she still loves him. And since Marge won't speak to him, Homer decides to send Polaroids of his face to show how sad he is that he let her down. And much like Nickelback, Marge takes a look at those photographs. And Homer is depressed in all of them, except for the last one, because he's laughing because the cat fell down the stairs. And then he sends one more picture of Snowball 2 lying flat on her back.
I mean, that is hilarious because cats are supposed to land on their feet.
Right.
Cat, like, you ever seen like a cat like trip or fuck up? It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, and then like they try to correct it, and they're like, "I didn't fall."
They look around like no one saw that, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. So Homer wakes up outside of his bedroom, finding the door open and Marge gone. Lisa explains that she left hours ago and that Abe has been watching them. Grandpa compliments a framed photo of the kids on their good behavior. And then Bart and Lisa and Homer hit the road looking for Midge.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
Marge, where are you? Did you change your name? Is it Kelly? Kelly!
Comic book guy, have you seen our mom?
A complete list of things I have seen or not seen is available on my blog. Your mother is on the not seen list, along with a Star Wars film that was any good since the first one. And even that has been ruined by CGI additions. Bravo, George.
There's Mom!
Oh my God, she's gonna jump. Marge, don't do it! Give divorce a chance!
If it wasn't for captions, I swear comic book guy said instead of not seen list, it sounded like Nazi list. Marge is on his Nazi list.
Yeesh. Does that mean that he assumes that Marge is a Nazi?
Again, he didn't say Nazi, but yeah, in my head, canon, yeah.
Worst Reich ever.
Wait. As Homer would say in the Simpsons movie, worst Reich so far.
Ooh, that's a good and depressing point. Let's see, so 2006, all of the movies have come out, like, the prequels have come out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it's so funny, like, again, not a political podcast, but now, like, in today's political climate, or what's going on, people are, like, looking at George Lucas like, oh, shit, bitch was right.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode 1, like, some trade route disputes start the whole fucking thing, and here we are with a trade route dispute in real life.
Oh, my God, yeah. Save us, Jar Jar, you're our only hope.
Wait, Jar Jar is literally, like, he's the one who authorizes it. He's the Pete Hegseth of Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah. Because Jar Jar Binks was the one who voted to say, yeah, let's make these clones, because Natalie Portman was around because she was too busy playing hanky with Hayden Christensen.
Who was an annoying kid and became a more annoying adult. Huh. And of course, we all know that Jar Jar Binks was a commentator on Space Fox News before.
Yes.
He was, yeah.
Oh, man. It's all the same. Sorry, George. We forgive you.
Yes. So Marge stands atop Town Hall telling Homer that she wants to show the world how she feels about him. And with the assistance of Jimbo, Dolph, and Kearney, Marge erects a giant popsicle stick of Homer in his underpants, smartly holding a donut. Marge calls this a sign that she still loves him, but Homer assumes it's the likeness of Magilla Gorilla.
We had this in Tapped Out, right? The popsicle?
Yes, 100%.
All right. So Marge tells Homer that the artwork is of him and all of his sweet and perfect goodness. Dressed in riot gear, Chief Wiggum tells his squad to prepare to fire, but Lou points out that no one has done anything wrong, proving that he is a cop to his core. And Clancy argues that if everyone was like Lou, the morgues would be empty. Good point. Quick question. Where did Marge get the underwear that size to cover the...
Ooh.
Why didn't she just give him a popsicle dong?
Popsicle's Dong is a great band name, first of all. Yeah, she should have, let him hang Homer hog.
What if the popsicle was still in popsicle form, so then, people could be, licking the popsicle hog?
And then it melts?
Have the whole town just, stand under Homer's popsicle hog, just dripping. And it's a vanilla popsicle, so it's just white.
Right.
Coming down. Genius, I tell you, genius.
Mm-hmm.
Very dirty show that we're having today, Steve.
Yeah.
We're never this blue, are we?
I don't think so. But now I just can't stop thinking about, the various ice cream forms. Does he have a push-up pop? Does he have a rocket pop?
This could be a t-shirt. We should just, do a, Andy Warhol type print with, the multiple same faces, different colors, but instead it's just a different popsicle fudgicle in lieu of genitals of Homer. I mean, it doesn't have to be that Andy Warhol, color scheme, but
right.
Just the same Homer, but with different. We haven't put up a stuff on T-Bubble in a long time, Steve. I'll get to work on that.
Okay, you do that.
All right, let's just go back to the Simpsons. Hey, we have a clip here. So Marge is pouring her heart out.
Homie, I realize that my most enduring creation is the life I've sculpted with you. Now I know that my Lego she is really a Lego we.
I just have one question, my darling. What did you do with the ice cream that was on all those sticks?
It's in that dumpster. Not that one.
What was in that dumpster?
Oh, who knows? I mean, he seemed to enjoy it. Whatever it was. And it looks like melted ice cream to Homer.
Is it raccoon feces?
It could be.
Oh, man.
It could be houseless folk semen. I don't know.
Maybe there was a deleted scene and she did have popsicle hog. Oh, but the other ice cream is in the other dumpster. Okay. I like the callback. I know visually speaking, you can't see it because it was a visual cue. When Marge dropped the legacy line, we saw Opal in the crowd and she did the shocked face to camera. Mm-hmm. It's a nice callback.
Yeah. I think at the time I was annoyed with the concept of Opal.
Right.
But I think it works in this episode. I think she's a lot of fun.
Right. I think it's because like we as Simpsons fans growing up, we were used to the core Springfieldites. So when there was like a new Springfield character that was a parody of like a celebrity, like we just accepted Rainier Wolfcastle from the get-go because we were kids. Like,
right.
Obviously it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger parody, but like maybe we weren't as acceptance of a new parody.
I think you make an excellent point because at the time too, Opal was at the height. Oprah. Uma was at the height of her powers. Oprah was at the height of her powers because this is in the era of giving away the cars and Tom Cruise jumping on the couch and all that. But in the episode, we jump ahead 200 years into the future, where a museum guide wearing a jetpack to show you that it's the future describes Marge's sculpture of Homer as the last remaining piece of art since the decline of the Western world, which is probably pretty close to accurate. Another member of the dystopian society comments that if only they knew that the iPods would uprise and overthrow the very humans that they entertained.
I mean, that's probably true, because if you think we wouldn't have an iPhone without the iPods,
it's true.
And iPhones have the AI, and so vis-a-vis death.
Indeed.
Outside the three giant versions of the Apple's MP3 players whip human slaves with their earphones, causing one man to ask what they want. The lead iPod responds, nothing, adding, they just like whipping. And now the antiquated technology whips its captives some more, and that is how the episode finishes.
Wow.
Steve, why don't we think about what we saw, come back, and wrap it up?
I like it.
We'll be right back.
Let people gather round, let people jump around. Get your freak on, 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 get your freak on.
All right, we are back. Steve, let's wrap up this week's episode. Ice Cream of Margie with the light blue hair. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes. Maybe there's a most valuable jokester. We'll talk about what we thought of the episode, find out what we're watching next week. But before all of that, Steve, it's tradition. After 375 episodes, we always find something from an episode. Although maybe the first couple hundred we didn't do this. I don't know when we stopped doing the tattoos bit, but I bring it up every once in a while. Because you could get a tattoo of this because it is also a gift. You're probably going to say, hey, Craig, don't spend a lot of money on me. This is too much. But your first gift is Homer's blueprint for his ice cream truck. So there's a piece of paper with his blueprint, with the rectangle and the circles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding, Steve. Look behind the paper. There's also an ice cream truck that was used in this episode. That's right. Got it off of auction. Since it's a season 18 episode, no one cared, so I got it for cheap.
Nice. I like it.
Including Homer's screen-worn ice cream man costume. So you can wear that when you make your ice cream. I was going to get you some of the ice cream sculptures that Marge made, but of course, as you saw in the episode, they were all destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Except for one. Here's Moe's head. I had to pry it from his cold, dead arms. Don't ask me how he's dead. Every Moe you see now on screen is a popsicle clone.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? I've given you a lot, Steve. Before you give me my gifts, just make sure you give me make me some lasagna.
All right, fine.
And
Okay.
then I got you a giant ice cream scoop so you can dig your own grave with it.
I like it.
And here is Max, the ice cream man.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a video of you and his wife. I found out that you were sleeping with her. Yeah, you were just getting to Max. You wanted his truck. You didn't really love Max's wife. Admit it.
I did enjoy sleeping with her, but yeah, I didn't really like her. I just wanted to get the ice cream.
You just liked her for him and her voice. That voice being Tress McNeil.
Of course. That's very kind of you, Craig. Thank you. I got you some things as well. It's hard to top what you got me, but I did get you a box of Krusty Charms with the wood already removed. I got you a trash can full of lobsters without eyes. I did find a sculpture of just you, but it's Homer-sized. Well, most of it is.
So Craig-sized.
Yeah. I got you the book Life Beyond Wife by Professor Stein.
Dr. Professor Stein.
That's right. I got you some of the Rich Texan's guns, so you can feel at home if you ever do visit the Lone Star State.
Oh, right.
And then, of course, I got you the big gift is helicopter flying lessons from Snake Jailbird.
I will use that right now after I drink this 6-pack of vodka.
All right. I'm glad that they sell vodka in 6-packs now. Convenient.
It's 6 gallons worth. Gulp. All right, Steve. What made you laugh in this episode? And just your thoughts. Review. Go.
I really liked the cold open. I liked Bar being wasteful, and I love Homer goofing off at work. I really enjoyed the Rich Texan, which is surprising to me, but he was a lot of fun. Probably my MVJ. I like him and Marge's rapport, and I like the silliness of this episode. But some of the negative stuff. Homer's view on the world, like, he is very homophobic in this. He's a little sexist, and he's, there's some problematic stuff. The unitard joke, his little lisp, his real weird, RFK health views. But really, my core issue with the episode is this is the time when Homer loses his job, gets another job, pisses off Marge, has to save the marriage, and cut and dry and do it again. And this is kind of like that era where this is where I would be being like, do I like The Simpsons still? Is it falling off? Because this is kind of like the tropey stuff that kind of turned me away from it back then. And I think that this suffers from that a little bit, but I still had a lot of fun with the episode. I like what Marge wanting to have a legacy or a legacy, it being through art. I kind of wish they would have referenced her being an artist prior to this. But all that being said, I think this is a fun episode. I think it's a decent episode, and I had a lot of laughs. And I think it's a watch. I think it's not perfect, but it's kind of like Homer and Marge's love for Homer. It's imperfect, and it's good, and it works. And so if I had to give this a ranking, to actually make a sculpture of like a person that's about 6 feet tall, it would take, if you're going detailed, about 900,000 popsicle sticks. And so out of 900,000 popsicle sticks, I'm going to give this 750,000.
I would have gone with 750,001.
Oh.
Because I agree with you this episode. The good, like you said, all of your scenes, like the cold open, I loved the bit with Mr. Burns actually encouraging them to keep playing the game because they are on a team. And the licking of his face from Homer. Loving that scene. And I loved Max, him dying on his job.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like his wife. I think I want to give her the MVP just because
that's solid. Yeah,
she's sleeping around and she hates him. Homer is very deplorable in this episode, like you said. And you're right. I think when you are tasked to do the episode where Homer doesn't pay attention to Marge and he has to win her back are some of the harder episodes to write because we've seen it so many times. How can you say something new? Having to get all those jobs again can be a tired bit. But I guess when you're like trying to construct this episode, like you have like an initial pitch or an initial idea and then connecting the dots to make the episode work and logical, I guess. I think it's cromulent. Some of the bits that I don't think hit anymore is the Ollie G parody opening.
Yeah.
You're right. The Opal sometimes just feels out of date because, she's not, I mean, Oprah's still around, but that daytime talk show persona isn't. I think when you're looking at this episode going in, you realize that you should just be prepared. Be like, okay, I know like the structure of this episode, but are there jokes in here that will hit and make me remember this episode? Yes, there's a lot of homophobia jokes too. You do have a penis related to wood jokes, so that always helps. But Marge always being upset with Homer, so I think that's why you kind of like... It's weird because at the end, right? You think about the end of the episode is Marge like accepting Homer for who he is and making him the hero, even though he's just the villain.
That is a good point, yeah.
So it's almost like, I don't know why Homer still wins in the end, and he shouldn't. Like, he goes to like apologize because he was trying his best to get to the show. But Marge, it should have been like the same episode with, it should just end that way, like actually him hanging dong in this popsicle structure, and Homer going like, and Marge, thanks for making my manhood a lot more bigger. And then her going like, wow, I thought I was making it small. I don't know. Kind of like, what you said about Burns' hog in that episode.
Right.
So, as I did enjoy some of the gags, it's not that great of an episode. I don't know if I'd recommend it, although it does have some killer songs in it. You get the Missy Elliott, Dire Straits, and Chunk Mangione.
Very confusing state fair still.
Yeah, but it is of that time. It does feel so 2006, Which
is weird.
Yeah. If I go to give this a ranking, look, Steve, I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, but ice cream is involved.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
There's a company that prides themselves on a number of ice creams. That, of course, is Baskin-Robbins. Their famous 31 flavors, which, of course, it rotates. They don't have the same permanent ones, but, I think they still have, like, your basics of chocolates and strawberries and vanilla. Is that even a flavor?
Vanilla's a flavor.
But I'm looking through I haven't been to a 31 Baskin-Robbins in a long time. I'm online looking at their current menu. They have something called Baseball Nut, which is cashews, raspberry stripes, and caramel. For me, though, let's talk about what I don't like in an ice cream. I don't like cherry things. I'm not a big Cherry Jubilees fan.
Mm-hmm.
Do they even have Rocky Road anymore? I'm not a big Rocky Road. It's fine. Triple Mango. I'm not a big Mango fan. I'm sorry, Mango. I'm not a big Mango fan. I put a pink bubble gum. Look, I don't think that belongs on ice cream.
No.
So I'm putting those down. Look, I know pistachio is fine. It's not one of my favorites. I do like an old-fashioned butter pecan. Steve, my ultimate, though, my favorite ice cream of all time is still Jamocha Almond Fudge.
Ooh, it's a classic.
That's mine. I love a cake batter ice cream. Look, there's a cake batter ice cream there. But this episode is, like I said, perfectly fine. Is this a rocky road of an episode?
Ooh.
And I think that's an apt description and review. 2 words. Ice cream of Margie with a light blue hair. More like rocky road.
I like it.
Put that clip on a TikTok. That's how we'll get viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a rocky road of an episode, Steve.
I think that's fair.
It made me want to eat ice cream, though. But I only want to eat cream from you. Because you make ice cream.
That's right, yeah.
I want to try your cream all over my face, neck, and chest.
Sure, I can make that happen. It's sometimes sweet, sometimes salty.
One request. I don't want your wife watching me when you cream on me, because this is weird.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
Okay. But our Patreon listeners would love to see that. So if you want to be a Patreon listener, sign up at patreon.com/NaughtyGrandBoys. All right, Steve. That's it for this review. But, Steve, next week, we don't need a Wheel of Random because we're going back into our past.
Back in time.
This one, I've been looking forward to reviewing. I'm not sure if it's considered a classic, but it's something definitely from my youth that I remember fondly. We're going back to our 4th episode ever, which is season 12, episode 18, Trilogy of Air.
Oh, boy. This is a great episode of The Simpsons, and I am excited to finally do it a better justice than we probably did the first time around.
Yes. So look for that next week And in the meantime, please contact us on social media like Instagram or go to YouTube at 138simpsons. That's our handle there. Or just email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcasting app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent. But you don't need to write a riddle review. Just tell us how you want to be remembered after you leave this mortal coil. What is your name scratched into Tupperware? What is your legacy, or he, or them?
And if you are so kind, like I said previously, go to patreon.com/annoyedgrumpboys. Sign up for $5 a month and you get a bonus episode every week. This week, we, as we stated before, reviewed an episode of Full House written by Carolyn Omine. So why don't you just sign up today and give it a listen?
It's good stuff. And if you want more good stuff, go to tpublic.com/users/annoyedgruntboys and get yourself some good, great, and wonderful 138 Simpsons swag. We've got stickers, we've got hats, we've got t-shirts, and we've got your name on it. No, we've got our name on it, but you can wear it and be cool like we are.
All right, for this week, I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Steve.
And remember, give divorce a chance.
Well, excuse me for having enormous flaws that I don't work on.
God bless America!